Everybody, this time our story is called Starlight. Now, it's all about this little girl called Araba Rose. Now, she goes on some adventures with her pretend horse, her hobby horse. Let's see what happens in this story today. It's by Gillian Lobel. Now, happy birthday to you, said Grandma, and held out Araba Rose's present. It was a very strange parcel. Grandma called her Rosie and was always making her astonishing presents. Once she knitted her a hot air balloon with 3 little people in the basket, all ready to take off. What is it, Grandma? Asked Rosie with a giggle. Go on and wrap it and see, smiled Mum. It's a hobby horse, cried Rosie. Thanks, Grandma. He's lovely. The hobby horse's head was as green as the sea. He had starry eyes, and his mane sparkled like the sun on water. What will you call him? Asked Grandma. Starlight, said Rosie, and held him tight. Rosie took Starlight to bed with her that night. Mum tucked her up and drew the curtains. Not too close, said Rosie. The moon shone into the room and bathed the hobby horse's head in a pool of light. Good night, Starlight, whispered Rosie as she drifted off to sleep. Was it the moonlight, or did the hobby horse blink a starry eye? I wonder what she's going to dream about. Rosie, Rosie. Who's that? Asked Rosie, and she sat up. It was Starlight whispering in her ear. You can talk? Of course I can, said Starlight. Would you like to go on a flying adventure? A flying adventure, whispered Rosie. Girls can't fly. They can fly if they come with me, said Starlight. Climb on and hold my reins tightly. Her bedroom slid away as they soared through the air. Up among the stars they flew, while the moon shone down on the gardens below, and a river coiled in the valley like a snake. Where are we going? Shouted Rosie. To the north, Starlight replied. Rosie looked down and saw the sea beneath her, the tiny waves flashing like dragonfly wings in the moonlight. Down, down they flew, over icebergs like shining castles in the sea. Suddenly the air blossomed with snowflakes like cold, soft daisies. Rosie laughed and reached out to catch one. She shivered as they went spinning away on the wind. Time to go home, said Starlight. They took one last look, then the hobby horse caught a moonbeam and sped back home. What an exciting adventure! Next morning, Rosie told her mother all about her ride with Starlight. What a busy night you've had, said Mum. It was magic, Mum, Rosie said. When night came and the moon shone, Starlight shook his mane and turned his silvery eyes to her. Rosie, Rosie, shall we fly again? Oh, Starlight, yes, please. Where shall we go? To the kingdom of the sea, replied Starlight. Once more her bedroom seemed to melt away, and Rosie was out in the cold night air, clutching Starlight's frosty mane. Then Rosie saw the sea stretch out below them. She closed her eyes and shivered. Boo! Starlight swooped steeply and Rosie held on tight. Don't be afraid, Rosie, called Starlight as the wind whistled through his mane. I will keep you safe. Rosie felt the waves slide over her. It was blissfully warm. When she opened her eyes, she was in a pale green, watery world. Fish swam all around her. Let's follow them, whispered Starlight, and off they sped through the streams of silver bubbles. Rosie caught sight of a strange little creature beside them. It's a little horse like you, Starlight, she cried. It's my cousin, the sea horse. You see it? Welcome, called the seahorse. Sorry I can't stay. I have my child to look after. Suddenly Rosie saw a huge dark shape like a ship gliding by. Strange whistles and calls made the water quiver, and a deep voice sounded. White Finn, I go north, I go north. What's that? Asked Rosie. You're safe, Rosie. It's a whale. They sing all the time, you know. Wow, look at that. Soon the water echoed to the sound of many deep voices, singing their strange, rich songs. Can we follow them? Begged Rosie. No, it's time for us to go home. Up, up they swam until they caught a wave. They rode on its crest, out into the cool night air. I'm quite dry, Rosie shouted, astonished. Magic, murmured Starlight, and he laughed his silvery laugh. The next day Rosie's mum was cleaning. I can help, said Rosie, and Starlight can watch. She put all of her things away neatly and dusted all the ornaments on the shelves. She loved helping. Most of all, she loved to use the vacuum cleaner. She ran round the room pushing the cleaner. I'm the dragon monster, the magic dust eater. Woo! Be careful, her mother called. Watch out! But it was too late. The cleaner had snaked its cord around Starlight. Oh no! There was a loud crack and Starlight lay broken on the floor. Rosie sobbed as if her heart would break. I've hurt him, Mum. I didn't mean to. I didn't. I know, said Mum. Don't worry, Rosie. I think I can fix him. Together, Rosie and her mother carried the wounded Starlight downstairs. Mum found some wood glue from the cupboard. He'll be as good as new quite soon, Rosie. Be gentle with him now, said her mother, and she wrapped a strong bandage round him. That night, when Rosie went to bed, she let Starlight rest beside her. How are you, Starlight? She asked. The hobby horse gave a faint whinny. I'm getting better, he said softly. Will you be able to fly again? Asked Rosie. Oh, Rosie, I can never fly again, he said. My magic has gone. Rosie hugged him, and her warm tears trickled onto his bandaged wound. As Rosie cradled Starlight's head, a strange thing happened. She felt Starlight grow soft and warm, and his breath tickled her cheek. She looked up. Starlight the hobby horse had vanished. In his place stood a beautiful silver horse, whose mane streamed like a silver in the moonlight. I'm free, he cried. I'm alive. Your love has made me real, Rosie. Then Rosie climbed onto Starlight, and out of the window they flew, wheeling round in the night air as bright as the stars above them. It seemed to Rosie that the stars sang for joy, and their music flowed over them. For hours they flew, and Rosie hoped it would never end. Then Rosie found herself standing under the apple tree in her own garden. Dear Rosie, I must go now, said Starlight. Why, oh why? Cried Rosie. Don't leave me. I must go back to my own land now I am free, replied Starlight gently. But sometimes, when the stars are bright, I will return. A light breeze wafted around her, and Rosie was back in her bedroom. She rushed to the window and looked out. Look for me by starlight, called a voice from the dark, spangled sky. On the nights when the stars are bright, Starlight returns to take Rosie on an adventure, sometimes to the north, sometimes to the south, and sometimes on land, sometimes at sea, and always on her birthday. That was nice, hearing about all those magical adventures in the night sky and the stars. See you again soon. Bye.